I fell in love with a fucking stalker. And how dare you? And you know what? Go to sleep tonight and sleep on your pillow and know what you did to this woman.
This is a YouTuber that goes by the name Unstoppable Morgan.
This is exactly what he wanted. And now he has my dogs. Now he has my dogs.
Before we nosedive into this disaster that involves alleged extortion and abuse accusations, a bit of context. Morgan built her audience through her adventurous spirit and unique lifestyle, living in the world's first Ford Bronco tiny home, which she built herself, very much leaning on the van life, vagabond lifestyle that has become quite popular online. DIY projects, life on the road with her dogs, building a hot tub and putting it on the roof of the van. She's the type that really puts it all out there. Nothing is too private for her to share, and while this can be a good way to foster a deeper connection with her audience, it's not always the best when things start to spiral out of control.
This is like my last straw. Like, every person that I meet on YouTube is the most up piece of like, leave it up to YouTube.
Now, Morgan hasn't posted publicly on YouTube recently, at least I think since the incident we're about to watch here. She has been regularly posting, however, videos and more on her Patreon, which I don't think is adult themed, believe it or not. I know there's a very large niche of outdoorsy women that use overnight outdoor camping videos. Young girl, solo overnight camping in the rain. Home workout stretch exercise. Young girl, solo overnight camping, relaxing. Beautiful young girl, camping and cooking outdoors. Contortion, flexibility, art performance on YouTube to drive traffic to their OF or whatever, but not Morgan in this case. So what's the deal then? How did we end up here?
But what happens if he comes back? Because he does live here. So
I have a gun.
You have a gun?
I'll shoot him.
Well, last summer, Morgan took a bit of time off from her YouTube to spend some time with John, which is a man from her YouTube audience that she met online and began dating. After a bit of time spent together long distance, he invited her to stay with him in his home. And this would be the start of a relationship that would eventually lead to allegations from both sides, including extortion and abuse. Let's hear John's side of the story first.
It's August 16th, 2023 in Sparks, Nevada, and the Washoe County Sheriff's Department gets a very unusual call.
Hi, I'm calling to report a crime.
Okay, what crime?
Extortion.
Okay, where did this occur?
It occurred online. I had called the FBI last night, and they told me I needed to notify the local authorities as well.
Okay, is the computer at your house when this happened?
No, it's being done via social media.
Okay, what is her relationship to you?
She's my ex-girlfriend.
Okay. And what exactly was the extortion that she made?
She wanted $400,000. She made a post saying that she got a black eye, but she didn't say how or that it was me. She alluded to it and made several other posts after that, and actually did again say she wanted to be quote-unquote paid out. She said, "Buy me out like the last chick you bit." $400K.
You see, John's first mistake was falling for a vagabond YouTuber and inviting her to his house. Everything's fireworks and cotton candy. The next thing you know, you get kicked out of your own crib and extorted for 400 bands because, as we all know, practically every YouTuber is mentally unwell. Take me, for example. I hire an actress to pretend to be my wife on camera for a few hours a week, but in reality, I sleep on a roach-infested futon covered in Cheeto dust and watch 113 hours of hentai every week because it's, No, I'm teasing. There's some normal YouTubers.
John goes on to explain that just like thousands of her followers, he was a fan of Unstoppable Morgan's YouTube channel. The pair met online and started dating. Soon, he invited her home.
Got more unstable, and so I was like, look, still love you as a friend, but I don't think we can, have a relationship on any kind of romantic level. Then started going online and doing stuff. One day she was like, oh yeah, we broke up, and she took a bunch of stuff out of my house and was posting a live on YouTube saying that she stole my dog and she stole my Rolex and all this stuff and was driving around live streaming it.
As John relates the story to deputies outside his office, the details of this shattered romance grow more and more outlandish. Their living situation in particular has been a major source of conflict. The officer asked John when Morgan moved into the home's mother-in-law suite.
She was never really fully in the mother-in-law's. She was in my room. For quite a bit, and then moved into the mother-in-law's after the first call.
He goes on and talks about some living situation semantics, how it's unstable, the family is not liking what's going on, and eventually Morgan goes on to live stream and make content inside John's family business facility, which she signed an NDA to not share any of that information publicly. So John's sister finds out, she gets involved, she's pissed, they ask her to take the content down, and she starts freaking out. Morgan does, starts drinking heavily and making threats. They don't feel comfortable asking her to leave while she's drunk, so John ends up sleeping at a campsite down the road, ends up leaving his own house while she's there. It continues.
Called her brother yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Your sister's been drinking for a few days. She says she's going to leave. She still hasn't left, and I'm not sure what to do. He literally responded, you do what you got to do, man. She's just had an ongoing issue with everyone in her family. Her brother was like, you know, if you got to try to get her 5150, this, that, and the other, he's like, you just do what you got to do.
Her brother's like, my man, you let her move into your house? Why do you think, brother, why do you think she lives in a van on the road and travels to all 50 states? It's for a reason, John. Idiot. If there's any indication of the type of person you're dealing with, if you contact their family and they're like, yeah, sorry, do what you got to do if you got a 5150, or like, clearly there's a history of her just not being mentally well or something.
A text exchange about her demanding money and then saying, well, I know you're broke, so I'll settle for $20K for my silence.
What is she wanting her silence for?
Well, she's claiming that she'll ruin my reputation.
With serious allegations hanging in the air, deputies must consider all possibilities. Is John trying to get out ahead of the story with a tale of his own? Or is Morgan inventing accusations for financial gain?
That is a good point. You know, we don't know John from Dick. He could be a pathological lying weirdo. I mean, he invited a YouTuber he developed a parasocial relationship with online to stay at his house. So that's already a kind of a tick in the weirdo box. And so we're going to have to, you know, hear Morgan's side as well, even though John seems rather cogent at this time. Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt the video, but it's not for an ad. It's to tell you about my new show, Decently Indecent. And this is where it gets crazy because it's not just a show. It's a podcast. I've already done a bunch of episodes with people I love that you might like, and I'm looking forward to having more meaningful conversations that I hope you find value in. It's available on Storyfire, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. All the links are below. Please check it out. Please subscribe if you like it. Your support means the world to me. Thanks, guys.
So I went and knocked on the door. I actually thought she might try to pull some, so I had my phone recording in my back pocket, audio only. She finally answered the door, just soaking wet, like she'd gotten out of the bathtub, towel on. Very disoriented. I was like, hey, I'm just checking on you. I saw the posts you made about help me, I need help, I'm not good. We're still just standing in the doorway. And she's like, I don't know, something, my eye. I'm like, trying to look. I'm like, what's going on, right? We have a brief conversation. She slams the door. I leave.
It's a simple enough story, but is it the truth? That's something police must investigate. But first, they want to see exactly what Morgan has been posting online.
Last night at like 2-ish or so in the morning, she sends me some texts. Oh, she's still texting?
Oh, look at that.
Still texting.
She just sent me a new one.
She's trying to say that because of her antics, she's gained more subscribers and is making more money and then demanding $400K. She even sent her bank account screenshot with her routing info and everything. She's saying she wants some money for silence.
Imagine texting your ex, being like, hey, I know I'm having a mental breakdown and I'm extorting you right now, but the fact that I'm live streaming it or posting it all on my Patreon, it's getting me more subs, so... Fucking gotta love the new age business model, right? The more insane you are, the more viral you go, the more money you can make. It's just, what a world.
She started posting early this morning around 2 or 3 a.m. photos that apparently that she's taken down that showed that I had physically abused her.
Do you have those photos on here? Can you
they're in
the
email.
As the deputy reads through the posts, he finds a message in which Morgan references something ominous.
What's this Unstoppable Army? What is that?
That's what she calls her followers on
Ominous.
her
Come on, dude.
social media platform.
Okay.
Police now understand that Morgan's threats have teeth. Her popularity on YouTube gives her a wide audience, and her loyal...
Why? Because she calls them the Unstoppable Army? I love that. Like, they noticed something ominous.
The Unstoppable Army.
It's like, it's just a stupid pet name for her, for the people who, I guess, subscribe to her Patreon and don't even see boobs. I don't know.
Will likely believe any allegation she makes against her
Seems
ex-boyfriend.
like a pretty raw
John
deal,
also
dude.
explains a little more about how the situation between them deteriorated so drastically this week.
I had given her till yesterday at noon to be gone. That was the deal that we agreed to via text. She said, okay, fine, I understand, I'll be out. And I said, the other option is that I will have to go down and get an eviction notice filed for you. So you pick. And obviously she didn't like that ultimatum. Probably not the smartest thing on my behalf to even state that. But, yeah.
You mentioned here that you contacted the FBI?
Yes, last night.
Last night?
Yes.
Okay. What did the FBI tell you?
They took the report and then they said, call in and, report it to local authorities.
Okay.
And I planned to do that this morning, but by the time I woke up, I'd already seen all this stuff that she was putting out. So I immediately called as soon as I woke up. Oh, here she just posted again. $400K and I'll shut up. Asked to write the check 2 minutes ago.
John seems to have all the evidence he needs.
He's being interviewed by the police trying to plead his case, and he's like, oh, look, a notification. She just extorted me again. Just look at that. Imagine the timing.
What kind of shit is that?
Certainly, Morgan has a good reason for all of this madness, right? We've heard John's side briefly. Let's hear from Morgan now.
As it turns out, however, no ruse is needed. In the following body cam audio, we join the deputies as they make contact with Morgan at the house.
Hey, Morgan, how are you?
I'm okay.
You okay? What's going on today? Nothing? No? There was some posts about you injured your eye? How did that happen? Someone hit you? When did it hit you?
I came back and we're not ready to talk about
Okay.
it yet.
What if you talk to my partner? If you
No, I'm just like my heart is pounding.
Okay. I would like to talk about that with you, just so we can make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Can we come in and talk to you? So that was, do you have a light? Can I turn the light on?
Sure.
Because Morgan lets the deputies inside willingly, they no longer need a pretense to lure her out of the house.
And when did this happen? You said yesterday after we were here?
Monday?
Oh, it happened on Monday? Do you have your phone? Were you able to call the police?
For what?
Well, I mean, that's a battery. It's not okay to
Well, I feel like I'm making enticed him a little bit.
entice them. Well,
Because I'm still here.
Perhaps sensing that something is off about Morgan's claims, the deputy tries to get more details about the altercation.
Tuesday it happened. So that was yesterday, right?
So John tried to make it pretty clear that he had nothing to do with any sort of battery or black eye, and he doesn't know how she got it. All he knows is that she's trying to use this to threaten him and ruin his life and, extort him for money before she leaves the house that he owns. Is she crazy enough to give herself a black eye to then do what she's doing, or is John lying? I'm not sure. Who knows if we'll actually find out.
And you said it was after I came out and talked to you yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so he came home. What was the conversation
It's
he
a
was
wild
upset
situation.
Why the are you still here?
about? Okay. Anything else?
Valid
Just
question.
started with that?
Yeah, just like, why are you still here? You.
At what point?
It's not super frustrated. He just came at me.
Morgan tells the deputy that she has a recording that will demonstrate the truth of her claims. She pulls out her phone and plays the evidence for all to hear.
And this is all from yesterday when he was here?
No, when he called me after.
Oh, when he called you. Okay.
Why are you calling me?
You know why?
No, I don't.
No, you do.
No, I don't.
What?
Please tell me.
I was looking at my phone and looking at 911 and should I call them? And so that's why I was calling you. Do I
Did
call?
you call them?
No, and I wasn't sure.
What are you saying right now, Morgan?
That's what I'm saying.
I
I
don't
wasn't.
understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should. Should I?
Why don't you? What are you gonna do?
No.
Why would you call them?
What for?
Yeah.
Extremely abusive and threatening me.
What did I threaten you with?
My life.
I did?
The recording doesn't get the deputy any closer to resolving the matter, but it seems Morgan herself is eager to put the whole thing in the past.
So she says nothing about anything physical, and he sounds surprised when she suggests that he threatened her. Not the most damning evidence there, Morgan.
He's a nice guy. Like I said, I feel like I enticed him. I'm still here, and he doesn't deserve any action.
Yeah.
This was a big mistake.
What was the big mistake?
This just whole thing.
Coming here or dating him, or what part was it?
No, the hitting me thing.
Okay.
It was just a big mistake.
Has he ever been
No,
violent with you in the past or
never.
physical with you?
No, just verbally.
The deputy clearly isn't impressed with Morgan's evidence, but he continues to ask about the altercation and its fallout, warning her to take the matter seriously. Her response shows that there is more to unstoppable Morgan than meets the eye.
It's fine. Everything's fine. He's gone, and
Is
he's
it?
left me alone. And
But what happens if he comes back? Because he does live here, so
I have a gun.
you have a
And I'll
gun?
shoot him.
Oh.
Can I? If he comes in here, I will shoot him. Can I?
Well,
I am
if
staying
you feel like your life is in danger, you do have a right to defend
right.
yourself. Right?
And so
I'm not
if he
recommending
knows
that
he's the
that
one
you
who
shoot
gave
him.
me the gun.
Perhaps realizing that the situation between John and Morgan has the potential to get much worse if left unresolved, the deputy steers the conversation in a different direction.
Just imagine waking up one day, pouring yourself a little bowl of Lucky Charms, sitting down on the computer, need a couple minutes to kill because you don't have to go to work for another hour and a half, and you stumble upon this cool little girl driving this little Ford Bronco she modded with a hot tub on top, and she makes these neat little videos where she travels around the country, and she's a vagabond. She's got an adventurous spirit, and it's very cool and attractive, so you subscribe, and then you find a way to DM her. You pay for her Patreon, and you're able to send her a couple messages, and then fast forward a couple months, she's living in your house and threatening to shoot you if you come back. That's fucked up. Life comes at you fast when you fall for those YouTubers, brother. It feels like an equally odd situation. I shouldn't say that. Clearly, Morgan feels like, here, allegedly, the one that's probably the problem in this case. I'm certainly not going to give John a pass, though. I don't know anything about him, and there are people who can act very well, when they need to, and are psychologically cooked at the same time. Not
Did
saying
you
that's
send
the
him
case,
any messages or anything about any money?
Oh, that was a joke. He gave his ex-wife 400,000, so I was joking and said I wanted 400K.
Oh, that was a joke?
It was a joke.
Did you tell him that you were joking?
I think he knows.
He knows. How does he know that you were joking?
Just by the context of it all.
Well, I read all the messages, and I've seen all the posts. They don't seem to be joking.
I know what it looks like, but he knows.
Leaving aside the question of whether or not the
So
posts were mere jokes.
he knows
the
it's a
deputy-
joke so much that he called the FBI and the cops about it? It's a pretty good joke, I gotta be honest with you. Man, when you joke someone so hard, they call a federal and the local authorities? That's a fucking fire joke.
Got him! What was it that you were referring to about being silent if he paid you the money? You told him that if he paid you the money that you would be silent and just leave. What was that about? About that injury? And that happened yesterday?
Like I said, I'm a little confused.
Okay.
It's very
So, well, you said that it happened after I would talk to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Some of those messages were before yesterday. What were those about being silent and just leaving?
Morgan doesn't seem to have an answer for this, so the
Things are
deputy tries to
starting to
determine
fall
why she posted
apart.
pictures of her black eye to her army of followers.
But when you posted the pictures, was that to imply like that he did those? Is that why you posted them? To hurt him? Is there a specific reason you want to hurt him? You said that he's a nice guy and he's let you stay here. The reason that you posted those to hurt him specifically?
Well, that's something I have to ask myself. And so it's like this tit for tat thing going on right now.
All right.
Where he's like, I want to destroy you, and I'm like,
What actions has he done to destroy you?
threatening to. He said that I need help
Okay.
and I need to be in a mental institution.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm going to make sure that you get there.
Okay.
And I was like, why would you do that to me and my dogs?
All right, so when you say he's trying to destroy you, what you really mean is it's him actually just being genuinely concerned with you because you actually do need to be in a mental institution. From what I can tell, the only person trying to destroy you is you doing it to yourself, and you're trying to take John down with you. This last 2 minutes of conversation was very, very, very damning.
Do you think
For her
that's
case.
he's trying to destroy you by saying that you need to maybe get some help?
Do I need help?
Yes.
No.
No.
I am 100% mentally sane.
We're getting a little loose with that definition, I think.
100% mentally sane.
Ooh.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because he just tricked me.
How did he trick you?
What?
He just tricked me. He told me everything I ever wanted to hear. And coerced me to come in here, and then I left, and then he coerced me to come back. And here we are. I just feel like such a fool. It was just me lying about everything. I wanted a family, and I wanted a baby, and we were having unprotected, and he's like, let's not try to have a baby, but let's not try to have a baby, and he just fooled me.
As dramatic as these details may be, the deputy is more interested in hard evidence of wrongdoing. He makes
Jesus.
one last attempt to get the truth about their supposedly violent altercation.
Whole
How
thing
many
was a
times did he
mess.
come over here yesterday?
No, he didn't come over. He's just been driving past.
So he didn't come over at all yesterday?
Like I said, I have to look at my phone when it comes to the altercation, but after that, he's been gone.
Will you look at the phone and see when the altercation happened? Because yesterday when I talked to you, you didn't have the black eye or anything.
Right.
But now you tell me that he didn't come over here yesterday, so I just...
No, I didn't say that. I feel like I need a lawyer.
You want a lawyer? You don't want to talk to me
I
anymore?
already have one.
Okay.
Morgan is clamming up, but the deputy reveals that he knows more than he's let on thus far.
Maybe John was laying it on thick, was saying all the right things because he really liked her. Then they got a little bit deeper into it. She's head over heels, and all of a sudden she starts drinking or something, and her real personality comes out, and John was like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? Pump the brakes! And then she feels betrayed and reacts emotionally and this whole thing. And here we are. I'm just kind of speculating here.
Surprised you to know if I told you that John recorded that conversation because he thought that there might be some allegations, so he recorded his conversation with you when he came home yesterday?
Okay.
And in the recordings, it doesn't sound like he was being violent or anything.
Right. He is a mastermind. He is so. This guy is the most. He premeditates everything that he does.
Mhm.
And so I'm here still. He's mad about that. I will not just be pushed out
There's a detailed
you're in
account of
his
John's
house.
recording in the official police report. In that account, it's said that John knocks on the door for approximately 8.5 minutes before Morgan answers.
Wow.
John says he's just checking on her, and Morgan replies that she is good, but her eye is not. Observing that she's all wet, John asks if she slipped in the tub. Morgan says no. John asks her, did you slip on the floor? This time, Morgan says, yeah. John attempts to get more information about what happened, but Morgan simply says, you tell me. The police report notes that the audio conversation is consistent with John's verbal statement. Unfortunately for Morgan, the recording is not consistent with her story of John hitting her.
Yeah, so she's just straight up lying. That's crazy. Lying about abuse. It's one thing to like jokingly extort someone for $400K because that's what his ex-wife did. Funny joke, right? It's another thing to joke about getting hit by a man in our society, in this culture. And the other thing is, you might be able to gather, but she's good with her speech. She's absolutely pickled drunk, from what I understand. I believe they do a BAC after this, and it's like super high, but one of those drunks that just doesn't slur her speech. You know, in a lot of the Bodycam videos we watch, some people, it's just very obvious when they're drunk. Like for her, she could just be like emotional distraught because she's talking okay, even though she's obviously running circles around things she's trying to say. But you could watch that and be like, oh, I didn't know she was drinking, but I think she's actually pretty fucked up. So she probably just slipped and fell because she was hammered, hurt her eye, and then, you know, allegedly. That's my guess.
Do me a favor, ma'am. Go and stand up for me, please. Come on over here.
Kind of wild.
Ma'am, please just stand up, okay?
No.
Ma'am, I don't want to do anything.
What are you doing?
Like, just stand up for me, please.
Stop. I have
Just
3
stand up.
dogs.
Okay, I understand that. Hands behind your back.
All right, now we're getting to the arrest.
Ma'am, relax.
You are not doing this. What are you
Relax.
doing?
Morgan, just relax.
Why, you guys? Why are you doing this?
So, Morgan, I told you I'd explain it to you, all right? So right now, you're being arrested for extortion, okay?
Extortion?
Extortion. So
For the $20,000 comment?
for asking for $400,000 for your silence and for you to leave.
You sent wire details,
Okay.
bitch.
It was a joke, but okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Sound
think
like
it
you're
was
in a
joke. He
joking
felt like
mood.
you were being serious because you asked him several times about it. Okay? So
Okay.
that's where we are right now.
All right.
Extortion.
Morgan spends the next few minutes digesting the reason for her arrest, and when we catch up with her in the back of the police car, she's come to her own conclusions about the situation.
Is she?
I know what's going on right now.
Do you?
But he did say that he's been in contact with your brother and
With my brother that lives in...
yes, ma'am.
Right. Of course he's in contact with my brother. Of course he's in contact with everyone that I know. I fell in love with a stalker, and I know why this is happening because I know that family owns this town.
Morgan believes that she's the victim of a powerful conspiracy, and she blames the deputy for his part in her persecution.
And how dare you? And you know what? Go to sleep tonight. Sleep on your pillow and know what you did to this woman. This is exactly what he wanted. And now he has my dogs. Now he has my dogs. Now he has my dogs.
If you want, ma'am, we could call animal control.
No, please, 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 no,
if you're concerned with him having your dogs, we could call them and
no, he'll be good. No. And that's what he wants.
Morgan's emotions run from sadness.
I'm almost positive he just wants you to get the fuck out of his house and out of his life. That's my guess. If you just took your dogs, saddled up in your fucking Bronco, turned into a van, whatever it is, and skedaddle on out of there, you can get back to living your life on the road, making YouTube videos, having a grand old time.
To
Just
anger
saying.
and back again on the long ride to jail.
Yeah, wave hello and say goodbye. Can you please turn this music off?
what kind of music would you like?
Just nothing at this point. But this is like the worst song ever.
The song in question is Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
Son of a bitch, that is one of the best songs of all time! Now I know she's fucking crazy. Are you kidding me? I was just talking to my friend yesterday about how badly I want to see Third Eye Blind in concert. They're coming to New England. They're coming to New Hampshire this summer. I'm trying to get tickets. Sorry, this one touched me on a personal level. It was 7th grade. I have just vivid memories of when that song came out. 7th grade, very nostalgic. I'll go on.
This is not the song I need to go to jail to.
Do 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 do.
Just silence.
Sky was
please.
gold. It was rose. I was taking sips of it
tricked
through my
me.
note. I love it, dude.
I invited you in the house, and I know that if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. You tricked me.
I wasn't trying to trick you, man. I was trying to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, and you came inside because you knew that you would only have the authority to arrest me if I either crossed the threshold or I let you in.
Precisely.
You tricked me.
That was not a trick. You played yourself. Thanks for coming out.
This is meeting your quota.
We don't have to go to this.
Yeah, yes, you do.
I
One of my
promise
best friends
you that
is a police officer.
you're
Yes,
not
you
part
do.
of a quota.
And he loves to deny that.
Perhaps unsatisfied with how that exchange went, Morgan turns her attention to another source of her troubles.
I love these broads in the back of these cars when they get arrested. There's always just so much weird justification. They just can't stop yammering on and on and on. This whole thing she thinks is because they need to reach quota. That's why they...
What is your occupation?
I'm in. Oh, God, I hate saying that. Oh, God, I hate saying that word. No. YouTuber, I guess. Leave it up to YouTube, you know? Leave it up to YouTube. This is like my last straw. Like, every person that I meet on YouTube is the most up piece of like, leave it up to YouTube.
Morgan may be having second thoughts about dating her fans, but it isn't long before she turns her bitterness back to the deputy.
So all along when you walked in the door, you already knew?
I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Like, all those questions and, like, acting like you cared?
I didn't care, man.
That was all just a game.
Trying to figure out what happened to your eye. I was trying to figure out,
Right,
after what happened, why you didn't call the police,
Like, be a human for a second. Like, you know how crazy women can get. And I was yelling, and I know what I'm doing, and, like, I don't think that I would have done what he had done had I not been doing what I was doing.
Morgan's explanation seems to assign equal blame, which makes it all the more difficult for her to see any justification for her arrest.
So he just called you, and this is how much pull he has?
No, ma'am. He called and explained your guys' relationship to us.
He owns the town.
The text messages between you two. They're concerned about the money.
Okay. All I know is that I was standing in the doorway of the garage, and he went nuts, and then I locked the door.
Morgan sticks to her story as it relates to the altercation, and she maintains that her posts are not as incendiary as they seem.
For the record, it was a joke, okay? It was a joke. And I thought that I had privacy to my own platform, and I even blocked him on there. Like, the fact that he even saw that, he must have created, like, a new screen name or something. Like, it was a joke.
Morgan's story has no effect on her circumstances, so she focuses instead on her immediate environment.
Would you mind turning the air on, or at least letting the window down?
Turning it on?
Yeah, or at least let the window down or something. Well, that doesn't work. Where is it blowing?
Imagine in that moment just bitching about the AC. Like, not only he turned it on for you, and now it's like, well, that doesn't work. What, is it not even blowing on me? Where do these air vents even blow? What kind of fucking vehicle is this? Just such a weird thing to start crying about.
It's a modification.
Morgan clearly isn't happy about her accommodations, but she hasn't lost her sense of humor completely, as we see in this comical exchange.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah.
What's your biggest one?
The one on my back? I don't know. What the question is that? Like, what in my crack?
You
want to see it?
I just need to list a tattoo.
Yeah. So, the one in my back says, "The world is my oyster." In my crack. It's 100% true. You want to see it? Okay. No, I'm not. Worst tattoo I ever got.
She would be the
She
type
also
of girl to
reveals
get
that this isn't her first run-in with the law.
I have assaulting a police officer on my record.
Oh.
10 years ago. I don't want to say the same scenario, but like I drove drunk and I purposely rammed a car with my Bronco because she was driving too slow. And then I went back home, and then the police officers came to my house, and I had this like dog fence up, and he like tripped and fell over it. Yeah, he like tripped and fell over the dog fence, and then he claimed that I assaulted him.
I love how she's just so calmly was like, oh, I was just hammered, driving drunk, and rammed a car with my Bronco because they were driving too slow. Like, didn't even think twice about sharing that. I'm sure they probably could have figured it out, but wow, unbelievable.
Any side of her troubles, her sense of humor vanishes when the deputy tells her that John is taking out a protection order against her.
Protection order? Over what? Whatever. I protected him.
But this mild display of anger is nothing compared to what we see inside the sheriff's office when Morgan realizes that police intend to comb through her cell phones.
Do you give me consent to go through your phone to acquire that information related to this case?
No.
Okay.
Go through my phone for, excuse me?
For the text messages, the conversations, the things that you're posting about, do you give me consent to do that?
I feel like I need a lawyer.
Okay. It's just yes or no.
No.
Okay.
Well, you can log on there if you want to.
But we're going to download it all.
Okay, I will help you do that.
I just asked
I
if
can
you...
sign on to Patreon right now, and you can see the post if that's what you need. Like, log on. I gave you my phone password.
You did. I can't download them here. I have to take them
What
upstairs.
do you mean download? Like, I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
We're just going to download everything off that phone.
You
for the
cannot.
case.
There's over There's over 6,000 videos.
Okay.
On that
We're only going to be getting the videos that are related to this case, not all your other videos of your YouTube.
But there are no
stuff.
videos. It's a post. And
Okay.
so I was telling you, if you open my phone right now, we can screenshot the Patreon message. The post that I put on Patreon, we can screenshot it. It has nothing to do with
Good.
videos. It has nothing to do with photos.
I'm just going to apply for a search warrant for those things at this point.
Right. Of course you
So,
would.
okay. So
Because
once
we both know who you are.
What's that supposed to mean? Is he also part of the conspiracy that the town is out to get you? Because we both know who you are? Is that even friends with the mayor? Or like, what's the... everyone's out to get you? What's going
then you
on?
can go through the process. of getting
Download it.
that.
There's nothing to download. It's a post on Patreon.
That is,
All right.
it is true.
need
Just
to relax.
pull up the Patreon feed,
Officials
bro.
at the detention center administer a breathalyzer test for safety reasons. Morgan blows a .303,
Shee,
indicating severe
bro.
impairment. In a video uploaded to her Patreon 8 days later, Morgan said, quote, "I like the idea of living a 100% sober
Yeah,
life, so
I'd like
if
that
this is what
too.
it took to get me here, then I'm grateful. Despite all the emotion of the day, the Washoe County District Attorney's Office decided later that month not to pursue the charges against Unstoppable Morgan.
Nothing.
John has moved back into his home with his daughter and
That's
ditched
good.
living in the trailer for good.
Point 3 is wrecked. The comments were not very kind to Morgan. Did she just openly admit she intentionally rammed a car for driving too slow and still expects anyone to believe she isn't crazy? That's a fair point, honestly. So like I said, she's been continuing to upload content on her Patreon beyond a paywall, so I wasn't willing to support her and pay to see this content. I believe it's like a continuation of her van life stuff. She uploads live streams. She talks about probably what's going on. She did make a post called "I'm innocent and I'll prove it," and it's very long, so I'll give you the TLDR, but I'll put it on screen if you want to pause and read it. She basically says, "There's so many layers of why I was arrested for extortion back in August, blah, blah, blah. For the record, I did not extort John. I did not fake a black guy and try to frame him. I did not threaten him with a black guy and ask him for money in order to remain silent about it. And I have proof." Saying you have proof is interesting because what we just watched seemed pretty damning, and video is pretty good proof. She goes on about I'm innocent and narratives and setting the record straight and blah, blah, blah. The body cam was pieced together and it's false. Thank you, Unstoppable Army, for having my back, with or without knowing the full story, blah. She goes on to talk about defamation and how she can't say certain things because blah. She basically, it's just a whole word salad without saying anything except, "Trust me, bro. I wasn't squatting, I just wasn't leaving the moment he told me to and started getting drunk just to piss him off, hence why I'm sober now. Had I been sober, I would not have done that." Classic. Guys, I was just drunk. I'm not responsible for that. I was just 0.3. I drank 2.5 liters of vodka. I wasn't responsible for any of those things. I just rammed the person in front of me for not going fast enough. I was drunk. I didn't do that. I hope she stays sober for her sake, because she's clearly a piece of shit when she's drunk, but typically it takes a little bit of being a piece of shit in general for the booze to exacerbate it. Not always, just sometimes. Oh, this is interesting too. I remember this video went viral a couple years ago. If you weren't convinced that she was kind of a piece of shit, this went viral on Twitter, and I didn't know who she was at the time, but let's take a look at this video.
There's a white lady. She's not letting me. Thank you.
Here she is again in the Bronco.
For every dumb bitch. I'm sorry. Don't, yeah, they coming. Don't, yeah, they coming.
Oh, they coming?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Miss Ice Cream Truck Driver.
Yeah, she's still here. She's right here.
Yeah. Over here, do you even have a business license? Do you have a seller's permit? Do you have a seller's permit to be selling ice cream?
I'm talking to you. That's her talking.
Do you have a seller's permit?
I'm by my vehicle. She's by me.
Do you have a seller's permit?
It don't matter.
Oh, wait, it don't matter. Oh, it don't matter because I'm black.
They go to
It
police
don't
right
matter.
there. Oh, they go to police right there. Thank you.
Thank God they know
Yes,
me.
I see the police officer.
Thank God they
Yes,
know
thank
me.
you. Yes, thank you.
Clearly a history here, right? Of unsavory behavior.
Yes, I called you. She just jumped out her car and tried to fight me. She threw her dog in the process. She's intoxicated. I have it.
So there she was again, hammered, driving her truck, and I guess this woman was like operating an ice cream truck and was either, I don't know, maybe driving too slow, or she just doesn't like ice cream. I don't know, but that's another peek into her behavior. This was years before this whole thing that we just watched too. So she does have a video called My Side of the Story that came out on her Patreon on April 1st. I have no intention of watching it because what we just read it's a bunch of the same. It's going to be just a bunch of flapping the gums about I was joking and defamation and I was drunk, blah, blah, blah. Like, we get it. We don't know exactly what happened, but I think we have a good enough picture to realize what happened. The moral of the story here is do not simp for a YouTuber and then invite them to live in your house, because before you know it, you'll be being extorted for $400,000, being accused of abuse, and you'll be sleeping on the side of the road while that influencer's taking a shower in your master bath. No, I'm just kidding. Not all YouTubers are crazy. God damn it, Leah. That said, I wish you would go crazy on that motherfucking like button for me, and subscribe if you haven't. You know I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Hope you have a great week. Peace.